Uh-oh, man. It's your boy Rico from Street Scores, and things are getting really interesting. I know I say that a lot, but it's been reported from trustworthy sources that Dan Snyder has cleared out everything of his from the Commanders facility. So, of course, this seems like a sale is imminent. That's the exact words that I saw when it was reported. And of course, we got to discuss who are the leaders to buy the team, but that's not as important right now. And we've kind of known this for weeks and kind of months, like the way everything was working out, all of the momentum. Every time I hear like lawyers talk about it, people close to the Commanders, close to the NFL that have information on these type of things, everybody's basically agreed that this team is going to get sold. Is just a matter of when. But the fact that he's clearing out everything of his and Tanya Snyder's from the facility right now, or maybe it happened the past couple of days, we don't know. All we know is that his stuff is gone. That is huge, man. That sounds like it should be sooner rather than later, and that's what I was hoping for. It would have been nice if it would have happened before free agency, but it seems like nothing really changed that much anyway. I mean, maybe the new owner, who knows, comes in and wants to just completely start all the way fresh, like fire Ron Rivera, get rid of Eric Bieniemy, you know what I'm saying? But other than that, it seems like the free agency went exactly how it would have went even if we had a new owner, because more than likely they're going to come in and not want to step on anybody's toes on the football side, so they would probably let Ron Rivera, Martin Mayhew, Eric Bieniemy, and all of those guys run the show anyway. So I don't feel like it necessarily affected anything yet, but I would definitely prefer that new owner to be there before the draft, which comes up late April. We have the owners meeting coming up, what, March 26th? So maybe that's when it's going to happen. And some people have pointed that out since months ago, that maybe at the NFL's meeting, we will officially get Dan Snyder to sell the team and it will officially be announced. And of course, they had that meeting like a few days ago, like last week, like a little private meeting, an out of nowhere meeting for owners only that they normally don't have on a yearly basis. It was literally just to discuss Dan Snyder. Nothing happened from it. Well, at least reportedly didn't. But now with this going on, maybe something did happen and we just didn't find out. But man, I'm so excited. So as you can see, this intro ended up being a little longer than I expected because I just wanted to dive right into it. But before we dive into everything else, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the bell next to the subscription button so you get notification immediately. And every time I release an informative and opinionated video just like this one, make sure you pull up every Sunday for the Commanders live call-in show. Make sure you pull up, ask whatever questions you may have, give whatever opinions you may have, talk draft, what we did in free agency, free agents that we should still be looking for, everything. And of course, stay tuned for more mock drafts from me leading up to the draft, film sessions for draft prospects that the Commanders are interested in and that I'm interested in as well. So make sure you stay tuned for all of the content, anything Commanders, just like stuff like this. Stay tuned. And without further ado, let's get it. All right, so this all started when I saw Dove Kleeman tweet, report Commanders owner Dan and Tanya Snyder have cleared their offices at the facility. Source believes that this is an advance of the sale of the team, per Mike Florio. And then from Pro Football Talk, the Snyders have cleared out the Commanders facility and there's a belief in the building that a sale is imminent. And on Twitter, I agree with Chris at HCTR Wahua. And this is exactly what I was thinking before I even saw him say it, but I completely agree. So I still want to make sure I shout him out. When billionaires are quiet, it means something is happening soon. They are in the don't talk and don't mess up anything stage. Perfectly worded. That's exactly what's been going on. At least that's what I felt like has been going on this entire time. Anytime we get a report, it's like super definitive evidence. And I feel like all of this silence means that, yeah, they're just trying not to mess up anything. They don't want anything to get ruined from anybody talking too much, reporting too much. They're trying to keep this tight knit so we could just go ahead and get this over with type of thing. So it sounds like the sale will happen sooner rather than later. Will it happen within 10 days? I don't know. We'll see. Maybe the sale gets done before the owners meeting and then they officially announce it at the owners meeting. Wouldn't be surprised, but I would be happy for sure. And going to Pro Football Network's article on the situation, they said it actually seems to be on the verge of happening. The Commanders, after nearly 24 years of ownership by Dan Snyder, that's literally almost my entire life, could very soon be under new management. Per multiple sources, Dan and Tanya Snyder have cleared out the team's facilities in advance of the sale of the team. As one source explained it, they left in late December. Wow, see, that's my first time reading that and hearing that. So they've been gone since December. This is not a recent thing. We're also told that within the building, the word being used regarding the potential sale is imminent. Multiple sources said that a sale could be approved and announced as soon as the upcoming league meetings in Arizona, which I was talking about March 26th, within 10 days. Dan and Tanya Snyder announced in November that they were considering selling all or some of the franchise. The process of securing bidders thereafter unfolded amid some skepticism from within the ranks of other owners that Dan Snyder will actually go through with it. The identity of the group that will be purchasing the team is not known, but at least 3 different prospective bidders have toured the facility and the stadium, so there's heavy interest. Billionaires aren't going to waste their time and their money to go tour the entire facility. First of all, just to even fly to the DMV area, to even just touch down to look at anything, but to actually go around and tour all of the facilities, the stadium in Maryland, the facilities in Virginia, that's a lot. Like, people are serious about this, and they're only serious if they actually truly believe that Dan Snyder is willing to sell the team. If they thought that Dan Snyder was pump faking maybe even a little bit, they wouldn't have even showed up. A team spokesperson said via text message that the organization is not commenting on anything related to a potential transaction. Again, it's kind of similar to what I was talking about earlier, because if they for sure definitively were not selling the team, they would just say it, we're not selling the team. But the fact that they're trying to keep everything quiet is a completely different story. Josh Harris recently boosted his candidacy with the addition of Mitchell Rails to the Harris group. Again, Harris and Rails sounds like a law firm together, so that's how I'm always going to discuss it. If they end up buying the team, I'm always going to call them Harris and Rails. Uncertainty still lingers as to whether Amazon founder Jeff Bezos was able to make a bid on the team, because of course Dan Snyder is blocking them from doing so, but Jeff Bezos easily has the most money to offer him. So are you going to take less money to be petty? So who knows? There have been conflicting reports as to whether Bezos was frozen out or allowed to enter the bidding process. There's still an issue to be resolved over Dan Snyder's request to be indemnified by the other owners, which is just crazy. As one source explained it, the request for indemnification includes the matters that are currently being investigated by outside lawyer Mary Jo White, and that's been going on for years now. It's believed that the other owners will never agree to such broad and sweeping legal protection for Snyder. So he's just being petty and just holding out. If it weren't for any of this chaotic, non-football related stuff, him stealing money, him being in debt, workplace abuse, the way he treats women, all of that type of stuff, if it weren't for that, maybe Dan Snyder would have already sold the team by now. But then again, that stuff coming up is the reason why he's been forced to sell the team. Otherwise, he would have been petty for a lifetime and probably would have never sold the team. Maybe even given the team to one of his children to take over. And we would have just been under the Dan Snyder reign for our entire lifetimes. Ultimately, at least 24 owners must approve the sale for it to be finalized. And it's ambitious to say at least for a potential transaction that hasn't been announced to be fast-tracked to the point where it's approved and unveiled at the same time. That's a good point. But maybe again, we didn't hear about him clearing out the facilities, which happened in December, until now, mid-March. So maybe the sale has already been done. Maybe there is already pen to paper. Maybe it happened at that impromptu, out of nowhere, kind of secret owners meeting. I believe it was like somewhere in Florida or something for like 2 days that was set up literally to discuss Dan Snyder only. Maybe it happened then, and now we're just waiting for the unveiling. So that's possible. Remember Jim Irsay, who's another NFL owner, the owner of the Colts, who's spoken out about and against Dan Snyder quite a bit. Remember a few days ago, he posted a clip of South Park about Dan Snyder and him being outed by the rest of the owners and things like that. So Jim Irsay seemed like he was kind of alluding to something, for a little bit of foreshadowing maybe. But continuing with Pro Football Network's article, they said, then again, this is a unique situation. The goal could be to get everything buttoned up quietly and discreetly so that it can all be wrapped up with no ability for anyone to develop cold feet once the potential departure begins to crystallize. So, hey man, this is very much so happening. To who? That's the only problem. But if we're just talking about it happening, it's gonna happen. When? How soon? Jeff Bezos or the Harrison Rails combination? Who knows? Apparently there's like a third party out there. We don't know if it's one bidder or multiple that also bidded and is taking everything seriously again toward the stadium and all of that. There used to be a fourth party, but it was a report like a few days ago, like last week sometime, that they dropped out. So I guess Harris teaming up with Mitchell Rails and Jeff Bezos having a lot of money, they just felt like it's no point of me even still trying because I have no chance. But of course, with the Jeff Bezos situation, it was rumored that maybe him and Jay-Z would team up. They had a dinner together for a really long time, and then they were talking about maybe even Matthew McConaughey and KD joining. It was a bunch of chaos. So either way, I'm just happy, really honestly, no matter who ends up buying buying the team. Jeff Bezos for the money and Josh Harris and Mitchell Rails for the caring. Both of them being DMV guys. I mean, that's huge. That would be a huge win for Commanders fans, I feel like. Now, I don't have a lot of knowledge and a detailed opinion on how well Josh Harris and Mitchell Rails have ran the businesses that they run. Well, with them both being DMV guys, they got to care at least somewhat, and they both have experience owning teams in other sports leagues. So I think either way, I'm happy, me personally. But yeah, man, that's the end of this video. Please get in the comment section. Let me know how you feel about everything discussed in this video. Please leave a like in this video if you liked it, if you learned anything. And as always, man, I appreciate all the support, man. Shouts out to all of my sponsors, especially my Pro Bowl sponsors whose name you see scrolling on the screen right now. Really appreciate y'all. Please get in the comment section. Let me know how you feel about this whole situation. When do you feel like the sale will happen? Because at this point, we're not debating whether it will or will not happen. Let me know when will it happen and who will it be sold to. So get in the comment section. Let me know that, and I'm gonna catch y'all later. I'm out.